back to Cooking with Nadine, and today a pinch of this and a dash of that is going to be a little different. We're going to actually follow a recipe. It's recipe for banana coconut bread. I found this recipe on simplerecipes.com, and it really is simple. What you start off with is 3 or 4 very ripe bananas. As you can tell, this one's very ripe. There's 3 of them in this bowl. I am going to peel this and put it with its little friends, and we're going to mash it up. Nice and easy. Once your bananas are all mashed, you go on to your next step. I'm just going to put that in there. Our next step is adding the butter. You take 1/3 cup of butter and you melt it. And this is a wet ingredient measuring cup. Now you're going to add that to your bananas. Just mix that together. Mixes really easily because the butter is all melty. The next thing we're going to add is a beaten egg. I took an egg, I beat it, and I put it in this cute little cup so it looks fancy for you. I'm just going to add that. And a teaspoon of vanilla. Now this sounds a lot, but a cup of sugar, if you want to lessen that, you can, but hey, why? Life is short, make it sweet. Now put the whole cup in there. Seriously, it's not more than a cup. And we're going to mix those ingredients all together. Now, to this, we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. Is it baking soda? I'm going to look at my notes right here. It is baking soda, because there's a difference between baking powder and baking soda, and if your recipe calls for one and you put the other, I don't think it's good. So we don't want to make that mistake. Baking soda. 1 teaspoon and a pinch of salt. I love this recipe. I get to pinch something. So I'm just going to put a little salt in here, like this. Take a little pinch, and the rest is okay. I'm going to mix that in. Nice and easy. Now we're going to put in 1.5 cups of flour. Now the flour you have to measure with a dry measuring cup, which is one of these. You stick that in, take a knife, level it off, and measure out 1.5 cups. Here's my 1.5 cups flour. I'm just going to mix that in with the wooden spoon. Now at this point, this recipe ends, and you put it into the loaf pan and you bake. But because it is a pinch of this and a dash of that, I decided to add a cup of coconut, right? So I have a cup of sweetened coconut right here, all measured out, and put that in there. And we're going to mix it all together. Now, we're going to, it's a good idea before you start that you preheat your oven 350 degrees. So while that's preheating, in that particular time, you're mixing everything together. So no wasting time. Look at that. Nice and easy, all mixed together. This is my beautiful loaf pan. And inside, what I did is I took a pat of butter and I smeared it. Smeared is the technical cooking term that I'm sure there is such a thing, a smear. And you smear it all inside of there until it's covered completely with butter. Then you take a little bit of flour, put that in there, and then you kind of shake it all around, and then empty the excess flour out. And what you're left was a nice coated little pan. At this point, I'm going to put our mixture inside the pan. So far, so good, right? Nice and easy. So make sure all of it goes in there. And just because I didn't think it had enough coconut, what I like to do at this point, after it's all mixed in there, is I even it out by shaking it a bit, right? And I'm going to take some excess coconut, and I'm going to sprinkle it on the top. and be generous. Cover the entire top of your loaf with coconut. What happens is, as this cooks in the oven, it gets beautiful, brown, and toasted. It looks lovely. It really has a little nice extra crunch to it. So I'm going to place this into my oven in the center rack for 1 hour. I'm going to test it, cool it off. I'll be back in a little bit before you know it. Welcome back. As you can tell, my banana coconut bread has cooled and on a cooling rack, and now it's ready to be cut. I'm going to cut off a piece. That's the end. My husband's favorite piece, so I'm going to save that piece for him. Cut the next one. Oops. There we go. That wasn't very finesse. And the way I love to eat this is a little bit of cream cheese on top. And I'm just going to put a little bit on there. Take a little taste and see how it came out. Mmm. Very good. The top is crispy, but the inside is very moist. So until next time, remember, have fun in the kitchen.